Does it feel like your partner's not being a team player? Does that mean maybe he's a narcissist? Well, in today's episode, we're going to explore just that. Hi everyone, Mireille Nicole here, relationship coach, and welcome to episode 2 of Narcissist or Not. So I'm doing a small short series on helping you determine whether or not your partner is in fact a narcissist, because we hear this label, and I'm sure you have, thrown around all over the place nowadays. And it's really easy to just say or label your partner a narcissist instead of really looking at whether or not there are basic relationship skills that need to be addressed. I know for myself, there was a time in my relationship where it really felt like maybe my partner's a narcissist, or maybe I'm a narcissist even, right? Maybe he would have said that about me. But what I came to realize is when I really started learning how to master my communication, lean back into my feminine energy, and really understand what a man needs and values in a relationship, I was able to turn things around, and I can safely say neither one of us is a narcissist. Now, please don't take me as me saying there are no narcissists, or all you have to do is really change your dynamic and narcissism just disappears or becomes cured. I'm sure there are many narcissists out there. However, I want to make sure that you are in the best position to evaluate that and see for yourself if that's what's really happening. And you know what? Whether you're right or you're wrong in this case, it doesn't matter, because these skills, what I'm going to talk about today and what I'm going to share with you, is going to serve you whether you're in a toxic relationship or even in a healthy relationship. So you're going to want to know this, practice, and implement this in your relationship starting today. So let's talk about what to do if it feels like your partner is not a team player. Maybe he doesn't seem like he's collaborative, or he's not participating. Maybe it seems like you can't trust him, or he doesn't step up in the relationship. Now, I'm going to give you a powerful piece of advice here, or actually an approach. I'm going to give you an approach that I actually give my coaching clients so that you can start implementing today and you can see how your partner responds. Now, like with any and every relationship skills, things can take time. I recommend that you try doing this at least, 2 or 3 months consistently to see what happens and what kind of shift that you can experience. But when we're talking about is he a team player or not, I want you to really reflect back, look inwards, and really ask yourself, determine, are you approaching situations with your partner in a collaborative way? So one thing I've noticed, and I was actually working with this with a client, is going to your partner, instead of going to your partner all the time with requests or things that you need, because there's a lot of talk about that right nowadays, about expressing directly what you need and, in a, direct and assertive way. And I do preach that in certain circumstances and depending on the whole picture and the whole dynamic of the relationship. But if you're always going to your partner with some sort of request, maybe a solution to a problem that you want him to participate in, I really encourage you to start falling back into the mindset of going to your partner with a more open-ended question, or in a way that sounds like you want to work with them collaboratively to find a solution to a problem. Because at the end of the day, men like to fix things. So remember that. That's going to be such a powerful communication mindset reframe for you, to always think about things from the perspective of how can I help encourage my man to fix things? How do I ask him in a way? How do I approach him in a way that really entices him, or that really touches on that value of his? That's what's going to get him excited. That's what's going to get him motivated to want to do things. And I know some women might say, some people might say, well, why do I have to ask that way? Why do I have to tiptoe around? Once you develop that habit of doing it this way, you're not tiptoeing around. This is just one of the things that, we're never taught about growing up, right? And we've probably created a habit a different way. So once we can switch back and go into this, approach the situation or approach a question with our partner from this perspective, it's likely going to change everything for you guys. In many cases, maybe you can still go in there with a direct request. So maybe you can say, hey, I'd really like it if we could, start planning for a trip, start saving for a trip together. What do you think? The key here is adding the part about what do you think at the end to make it look and hopefully it's not that you just want to make it look that way, but you really want to be collaborative and work on something together. But it's that second part that's going to be the key that's going to create the magic, asking him how to do it, right? So, hey, I was thinking maybe we could start planning for our trip together. What do you think? How do you see it? How do you think we should do that? What do you think is the best way to plan for our trip? How do you think we could budget enough money to, to do a special excursion on our trip? Something like that. But the key here is to go in there with the question, with the collaboration already built in so that it looks like you guys are a team and you're even expecting it. You're going in with the expectation that you guys are both going to do this together. So what you're not doing is you're not going in there and saying, hey, I think we should put $50 aside every single week so that we can have enough money to go on our trip and do some sort of fancy excursion. You see what happened there? I went in there with the detailed solution to the problem. The best thing that you can do is go in there with the topic that you want to discuss, with the problem you want to brainstorm together, and then you let him come up with some of his ideas, and then you can throw in yours. Now, don't worry, when things are really good in the relationship, you can go in and propose the solution right away. But if things are a little bit shaky right now between the two of you and there's tension, I would really recommend that you give your partner the opportunity to say what he thinks first. And then you can say, hey, do you know what? I was thinking something else. Can I share with you what I was thinking? And really look at it from that perspective. Really show that you want him to suggest something. Really show him that you want him to step up, but you're not going at it in a negative way. You're going at it from, you know what? I want to hear what you have to say. And the more you give opportunity for your man to do this, the more you'll feel on the same page together. And what you might notice is after a while, or maybe even in the beginning, he might just flip it around to you right away and say, hey, what do you think? And that's okay. You've still gone into it with a collaborative spirit. You've still gone in there giving him the opportunity to say something first and kind of win brownie points with that. If he flips it back onto you, hey, awesome. You get to suggest your approach right away. But again, after you suggest your approach, I highly recommend that you say, what do you think? Would you do it that way? Did you have something else in mind? Okay, that was just like a golden advice that I gave you. Do you have any questions about this? Have you tried a similar approach, but maybe it hasn't worked? Is there anything you'd like to troubleshoot? Hey, feel free to leave a comment below or ask me a question and I will get back to you. Or maybe you've tried this a million times, it just hasn't worked and you would like some direct support and some personal guidance on how to navigate your own situation. If that's the case, look in the comments below or the description. I'll put a link there so you can get in touch with me. All right, that's all I wanted to share for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.